Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what we got for you today is why Black women are at least married. Why do I keep talking about this stuff? Because y'all gonna either get it or you don't. Some of you gotta get it. Some of you never gonna get it. For those of you who never gonna get it, but for those of you who want to get it, who trying to get it, y'all are going to have to wake up at some point. I'm hoping. Because more and more people are sounding the alarm for y'all to wake up. And I'm going to need y'all to quit hitting the snooze button on everything. But in any case, I'm going to share my screen because we got a young lady who really was telling it like it was. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen, and here we go. It may or may not be just a little bit of language, but it's not. If she does say any profanity, it's not that much. If she says any at all. So here we go.
Girls who are sitting at their graduation engaged. And the question came up, well, why is there not the reality for Black women? I know y'all not gonna like what I gotta say, but you know me, I'm gonna say it anyways. First and foremost, Black women are above reproach. If it don't validate us or excuse our bad behavior, we don't want to hear it. Instead, we'll say, well, men do it too. Secondly, we'll find every excuse in the world to validate why we don't want to be married or why we don't want to be in a relationship. Well, they get cheated on. Well, they do this. Well, they do that. But then we have all these standards for men, and we're still actively seeking for men in the midst of our hurt while inadvertently telling them to go to therapy. We do not practice what we preach. Thirdly, the independent woman is a myth. Actually cared about being independent and it was something that made you happy, you would not have all these standards to negate your independence. Nobody wants to relinquish power. You'll find every excuse in the world to not be submissive and wonder why white women can get away with their bad behavior. We take everything bad from white women, except for the fact using marriage to our own benefit. But you'll run to the child support office, though. Equality against men, and the only time we actually want to be equal to men is when it comes to degenerate behavior, hypersexuality, abusing or abandoning children. Even when it comes to the gold digger conversation, what you don't see those other women do, even when they are just screwing men for money, is bashing men and inadvertently making men feel like they're not important. Also, too, telling them that they don't need men. Psychologically, we have been taught to disassociate ourselves, and even in that Malcolm X quote where he says the Black woman is the most disrespected, he also says to be near your man, because who taught you to hate the very race that you're supposed to be with? Of a group of white girls.
I'm gonna stop sharing, but before I stop sharing, these comments are interesting, but I just want to focus on the one over here. Or we don't go to school to pursue a ring by spring. The deflection. All this, and you weren't engaged at graduation, and you're not engaged now. Are you married? So where's your ring? At your graduation, were you already engaged? How long have you been married? She actually said long enough. We don't go to school to get married. We go to school to learn. They do marry early, but how long do they stay married and how many times? Let me stop sharing. I'm so tired of y'all. I don't know what to do. Because y'all will do anything to deflect from the truth. It doesn't matter if that young lady's married or not. It don't matter if I'm married or not. Because you don't take that advice from married women. You don't take that advice from married women. So it's not like you're somewhere listening to what married women say, happily, successfully married women. Y'all are not over there listening. Shay Sade has been running a panel for the last, I want to say a couple of weeks, once a week or so. If I'm mistaken, she can let me know. Where it's herself, who is married, and she has at least 3 other Black women on there, different generations and age groups. Bella Rings, the beautiful lady that comes to my chat. How you doing, Bella? Security Boss. And there's another lady, I'm not sure of her name, but she's been on Lapeef a few times. I've seen her, but her name escapes me. And I don't see that chat full of women. I don't see that chat. Those are successfully, happily married Black women who are married to Black men who are discussing marriage, being a wife, what that stuff takes. And even though I'm not currently married right now, I spent the vast majority of my adult life married. So I'm not shooting from the hip either. When I talk about men, the psychology of men, the dynamics of a marriage, the dynamics of a relationship, what to do to make a marriage work, I'm talking from experience, not from what I heard, not from what I heard somebody tell me. But the way in which y'all will deflect something is mind-boggling to me. Just to not hear, because whether she's married or not, do it mean that she lying about what you do? We go to school to learn, not get married. So you can't learn and have a relationship. You learn and get trains ran on you. You go to school to learn, but you also get trains ran. Did you go to engineering school to be a train conductor? Because y'all sure be having trains. You must have went to Amtrak school. What she said was all facts. Black women generally, here's one of the biggest problems that Black women run into in your life, in relationships, not being able to have the type of outcomes with men that you claim you want to have. One of the biggest things is that y'all don't do that intentionally. When I was reading that article from that Rochelle Carey lady, the 50-some-year-old that ended up being a single mama in her parents' coach house, that was one of the things she said. I thought it would work itself out. I thought my domestic bliss, my marriage, my domestic life, things of that nature would just work itself out. No intent. No intent. You're not intentional about any of life's important decisions, including and especially relationships. You're not intentional about birthing children into the world. That's not intentional either. Sometimes it's haphazard. Sometimes it's done in malicious intent. Sometimes it's done out of loneliness and bitterness. Sometimes it's a whole myriad. It's never with the intent for good, though. You're never doing nothing to intend to do your part in the building of family or to do your part in the moving forward of family and being healthy in a relationship. None of that. None of that. Y'all don't approach family life on any front and in any aspect with any good intention on how you're going to be good wives, how you're going to have a good home life, making sure that you are of a certain type of woman so that you can attract the type of man that you want, the type of man that's going to be marriage material, the type of man that's going to be a good husband, the type of man that's going to be a good father, the type of man. You don't even work on yourself to attract. You just haphazardly have sex. You haphazardly birth children. You haphazardly get in and out of relationships. And then you wonder why it's not having the effect. that you wanted to have. Then you get to cry and die and whine about why these men do me like this. They just all cheat and they all lie and they all, but you don't care because you don't even bother to try to choose men based on their character, based on how they live their life, based on what they're doing in their life, their mindset, their mentality. How do they see family? How do they see women? The only thing y'all want to know is whether or not he a simp, whether or not he'll kiss your butt or not. And if he'll kiss his mama butt and he'll kiss all the women in his family butt, you figure, oh, okay, oh, he has a good relationship with his mom. Whatever. That ain't no gauge to nothing. Because for all of that, you be a son husband. And some of them mean. All them son husbands is not nice because they be the stuff that they don't have the guts to say and do to their mama, they do it to you. Because you represent his mama. You act like her. You and her friends, and y'all gets in cahoots against him. So he don't like it either. That's why sometimes y'all get in a relationship, the man, he be arbitrarily, he get mean to you. Because you be done said something, did something to trigger him like his mama do. It get deep. But y'all don't care about how deep it is because y'all don't have no intent for anything. You want relationships and all of that type of stuff because the stuff don't take no preparation for you on your part. On your part, relationships don't take preparation. You don't see any reason to prepare. You don't see the logic for you to actually be prepared to be married because you think your existence is what make you ready to do that. And no, ma'am. No, ma'am. You being born into the world with a vagina and you and a million other ones, 90 million other women was born with a vagina too. It's not special. It's not special. You don't even treat it like it's special. You take for granted the relationships and things of that nature because you think it's going to work itself out. This is why y'all think y'all can waste y'all best years in the front, y'all youth and beauty and all of that type of stuff. And then it should be available to you later in your life when you're all used up and you all ran through. Because in your mind, it's not nothing to prepare for. It's just something sitting there. Men are just being rolled off an assembly line. So you go get one when you get ready. So when you're ready to have a relationship, they should just be ready-made. Somebody should just pass you a relationship. One that you don't work for, one that you don't work towards, one that you don't work within. You do nothing. Y'all the laziest women in the world. This is why you're the least married, because y'all lazy. Y'all emotionally lazy. Y'all are physically lazy a lot of times. You mentally lazy. You lazy. You don't want to do any work. You don't make sure, you do nothing to make sure that you can have the desired outcome that you say and you tell the world that you want. And then you get surprised when it ends up not happening. And then you reach the end of your life and you be mad. You be super mad. You be extra mad that you be 50 by yourself. And then all your kids grown because you had them at 18. So they grown. Now you ain't got no man. Now you like that other lady that was on TikTok that I did a video on, that 60-something-year-old lady on TikTok talking about where the men was at. Something I never told y'all. That lady's daughter contacted me and was begging me to take that video down. And she didn't ask nicely. She didn't come to me like a woman. She came to me like a child. I ignored her and I didn't take the video down. She came to me like a child. who you think you is. That's my mama. Tell your mama to get off TikTok. Tell your mama to get off TikTok. Don't tell me, tell her. Because y'all want to do stuff and then y'all don't want nobody to see it. Y'all want to put stuff on the public, on the public street, and then you don't want nobody to say nothing. You don't want nobody to see it. We're not supposed to notice it. The world notices you and your dysfunction. And they know why you're dysfunctional. You the one in denial. Nobody else. Everybody see you for who you are. You just mad. Oh, well, I completely ignored that woman. I completely ignored her. You understand me? I ignored her. First of all, talk to me like you have sense. She claimed she was my age. So you need to have a discourse with me like an adult. You may would have been able to persuade me, but you didn't. You had a discourse with me like a mean girl in a high school hallway. That don't work. You're not going to beat me up after school. You need to knock it off. She eventually had to stop because I was ignoring her. But I'm saying that because you be mad. You 60-something, you on TikTok, you all on social media, mad at the world, just like them Tea with Queens or whatever it is, that show is with Claudia and Vivica and all them. Mad. Lisa Rand, Vivica, and Claudia, they extra mad. The only reason Selena ain't mad like them is because she got a husband. You say what you want about the dynamics of it or whatever. You can have whatever opinion you want on that. But she do got a man that she go home to. And you notice she don't have quite that mad disposition the rest of them got. You don't address yourself. You don't address anything. We're going to really talk about that. We're going to dig into that. How y'all don't address nothing. Nothing. Because you don't think that you have a problem. You don't address your outlook on men, on yourself, on your relationship to see if any of your ideas about it make sense. For all of y'all that be out there talking about, well, y'all ain't married. Y'all talking about this femininity stuff. You ain't married either. Did it work for you? Did your meanness and I don't need no man, did that work for you? Because we are either picked now or we have been picked in our lifetime. Anyway, I talk about all of these things in my new book, Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery. If you want to change your perspective and you want a different take, you want some answers as to why your life is going the way that it's going, this is what you need to start with. Okay? Go into the description box, hit the link for crimsoncure.com to get your physical copy. If you prefer a digital copy, the link to the Amazon book is also in the description box. Go down into the comment section. Let me hear what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you've not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.